My name is Will Carter. I am a senior PRTM student with a concentration in community rec sport and camp management, and today I will be presenting Chapter 20, The Future of Tourism, for my Intro to Tourism class. Every chapter we've read this semester has given learning objectives, and so I'm just going to briefly go through the three learning objectives for Chapter 20 today. So the first one is examine forecasts concerning the growth of international tourism, identify the major global forces that are shaping tourists of tomorrow, understand the impacts, both positive and negative, that these forces are likely to have on tourism markets and on the ability of destinations to respond to the demands of these markets. So basically, Chapter 20 is talking about the future of tourism and how we can impact tourism in this millennial age. And so just some stats from the text. Since 1950, when international travel started to become accessible to the general public, tourist activity has risen from 25 million to 880 million arrivals in 2009. And basically that's just saying, throughout time, technology's gotten better, roads have gotten better, so people are able to travel and easily. And since 1950, there's been a lot of things that has allowed people to be able to go around and be a tourist. Another stat from the text is international tourism receipts have risen from 21 billion to 852 billion in 2009, and that's a drastic change. So you can see tourism has really increased over the years and is becoming one of the biggest economic factors right now in the world. And then in 2 years, tourism should reach about 1.6 billion in economic impact. So that's a big number, and so it gives us as students a lot of resources and opportunities to go out and make a difference in the world. Continuing on, for leisure tourism and society in the third millennium, some of the things I took away from that chapter is, so nowadays, tourism is increasing, it's expanding, but it's also causing disruptions in other countries of cultures and degrading the environment. So basically, you're having all these people show up in one city, and it's kind of taken away from the locals and their home. And I don't think I would like someone constantly coming in and not having it feel like that's my home, instead of having tourists come in and feeling all touristy. And that could, the overcrowding of people in tourist destinations could be, a problem due to social media, and also just it's easier to travel now, and a lot of people forget about having respect for the local people in the areas that they visit. And then, so to be able to kind of change that, the disruption of other countries and their cultures, like we read in the past few chapters, the policies people have been making for tourism. There could be more rules for tourists coming over in other countries. Other countries could have specific rules that they could in place for people. If they're disrupting someone's culture, they could possibly get in trouble or anything like that. And basically, from this chapter, it's basically saying tourism is going to be here forever, and it's going to continue to increase throughout generations. And for example, transportation equipment like airplanes are going to continue to get better fuel mileage, be able to not have to stop so many times. And then also you have a threat of climate change is important for our generation, to be able to have people know that having clean air is good, because if the environment's not good, then we're not going to be able to travel to certain locations. And then regarding climate change, our our beaches could be affected by this. So, like cities like New Orleans, Miami, are kind of below sea level. So over time, that could be a huge decrease in tourism if there's no more beaches anymore. And so, that's something that we'll have to monitor in the future. And also terrorism in the future is another big issue. You see all these terrorism acts occurring all over the world and at sporting events. So, sporting events, that's a big part of tourism. So more security could be in place, but that's another big issue. But mainly out of this chapter, tourism for the future looks great. Like I said, right now it's benefiting the economy by $1.6 billion, which will probably continue to grow by 2020. And tourism through social media, people are able to see easily where they would want to go in the world. And then the job opportunities for tourism are increasing as well. And I think our department will continue to grow. But that's my presentation. Thank you.